Before starting this body of water diorama, I took time testing several materials which included this AK water diorama product, alongside acrylic mediums and a new lacquer spray from War Paints. I applied several layers for gradient effect to see how well they will blend together and complement each other. At this point, I know how the materials will go together and when to apply. This is a reasonably priced hobby kit, scale 1/700. There are some minor fit issues, especially with the hull, and the details are not heavy. One might want an aftermarket photo etch to help with the details. This build, of course, includes the 1/700 IJM plane from GWH. I think one might want the 002 version for a more accurate Pearl Harbor attack aircrafts. The hull and turret assembly were straightforward and nothing fancy. I noticed several gap and fit issues, but nothing that can't be fixed with a stretch screw. Apply super glue for good measure. Gaps on tower and observation deck were filled with stretch sprue as well. New colors of the USS Arizona, according to the National Port Service documents and research, revealed that the colors were far more vibrant than the previously known dull gray. The hull, for example, were colored vibrant blue, and the top turret color were painted bright red, this indicating the divisional unit of the battleship. Lastly, the top two towers were painted white, but I chose to use medium gray. You see, prior to my discovery of the new paints, I already painted the hull with the blue-grayish tone and decided not to change it as it was too cumbersome to repeat the process. If you notice, the last paint I did was the wooden deck, which for me was easy to correct the blue-gray later on. Even though the USS Arizona never sported the hull red, I went for it anyway. But please follow the new colors. Again, I am using the cheap common styrofoam and not the ideal high density foam. The only drawback on this are number one, too messy to work with, and number two, it tends to easily bend or deform. Other than that, it can be used for any ground or base material. Moving on to the water texture, I started with the diluted white glue, then dipped strips of toilet paper, and then applying it to the base layer by layer. Make sure to stifle with the paintbrush on a laid toilet paper. This is to flatten it out and create small wave shape. Using a clear plastic cover normally found on food packaging, you can use this as a spinning prop. I applied the different mediums to suit my interpretation of the body of water in Pearl Harbor, it being shallow. The AK Pacific Blue gel is like a clear filter. Once it dries, the surface becomes tinted blue and glossy. Now I use a stretch clear sprue, yes, clear sprue, to serve as a stand for the 1/700 aircrafts depicting flight. The clear sprue helps it not to be too conspicuous as against a dark-colored sprue. If you have any idea how to achieve this better, let me know in the comments. I am now scratch building a mooring quay. The US Navy added this to relieve congestions on the harbor when berthing capital ships. 16 were installed in Pearl Harbor. Lastly, did I mention this is an incomplete diorama, let alone non-representative of what transpired during the second phase of the attack? What is missing here is the USS Vestal repair ship that berthed beside the Arizona on its port side. The USS Vestal kit is either too expensive for me or having availability problems. So this Thank you once again, and please subscribe, mates. Yowza.
Mr. Vice President,